When we last left off with Lieutenant Henry, he was in a bar in the afternoon drinking with a motley crew of individuals that included an Italian-American soldier, 2 young aspiring American opera singers, and a vice consul. Passing time, chocolates in hand, waiting for Catherine to finish up her duties before returning to their home, the New American Hospital in Milan. My name is Trisha Slopizio. I am the host of Tea and Bedtime Stories. In this episode, we'll continue reading Ernest Hemingway's novel, A Farewell to Arms. Last time we read the first part of Chapter 19 in Book 2, and now we'll continue the story with Chapter 19, Part 2. After reading the chapter, I'll follow up with more quick facts and my impressions. So let's begin with the second half of Chapter 19. I hear you're going to get the silver medal, Ettore said to me. What kind of citation are you going to get? I don't know I'm going to get it. You're going to get it. Oh boy, the girls at the Cova will think you're fine then. They'll all think you killed 200 Austrians and captured a whole trench by yourself. Believe me, I got to work for my decorations. How many have you got, Ettore? Asked the vice consul. He's got everything, Simon said. He's the boy they're running for the war for. I've got the bronze twice, 3 silver medals, said Ettore, but the papers on only 1 have come through. What's the matter with the others? Asked Simmons. The action wasn't successful, said Ettore. When the action isn't successful, they hold up all the medals. Many times you've been wounded? Or how many times have you been wounded, Ettore? 3 times bad. I got 3 wound stripes, see? He pulled his sleeve around. The stripes were parallel, silver lines on a black background sewed to the cloth of the sleeve about 8 inches below the shoulder. You got one too? Ettore said to me. Believe me, they're fine to have. I'd rather have them than medals. Believe me, boy, when you get 3, you've got something. You only get 1 for a wound that puts you 3 months in the hospital. Where were you wounded, Ettore? Asked the vice consul. Ettore pulled up his sleeve. Here, and he showed deep, smooth red scar. Here on my leg. I can't show you because I've got on putties. And in the foot. There's dead bone in my foot that stinks right now. Oof. Every morning I take a little piece out and it stinks all the time. What hit you? Asked Simons. A hand grenade, one of those potato mashers. It just blew the whole side of my foot off. You know those potato mashers? He turned to me. Sure. I saw the son of a bitch throw it, Ettore said. It knocked me down and I thought I was dead, all right. But those damn potato mashers haven't got anything in them. I shot the son of a bitch with my rifle. I always carry a rifle, so they can't tell I'm an officer. How did he look? Said Simons. That was the only one he had, Ettore said. I don't know why he threw it. I guess he always wanted to throw one. He never saw any real fighting, probably. I shot the son of a bitch, all right. How did it look when you shot him? Simon asked. Hell, how should I know? Said Ettore. I shot him in the belly. I was afraid I'd miss him if I shot him in the head. How long have you been an officer, Ettore? I asked. 2 years. I'm going to be a captain. How long have you been a lieutenant? Going on 3 years. You can't be a captain because you don't know the Italian language well enough, Ettore said. You can talk, but you can't read and write well enough. You gotta have an education to be a captain. Why don't you go into the American Army? Maybe I will. I wish to God I could. Oh boy, how much does a captain get, Mac? I don't know exactly. Around $250, I think. Jesus Christ, what I could do with $250. You better get in the American Army quick, Fred. See if you can get me in. All right. I can command a company in Italian. I could learn it in English easy. You'd be a general, said Simons. No, I don't know enough to be a general. A general's got to know a hell of a lot. You guys think there ain't anything to war. You ain't got brains enough to be second-class corporal. Thank God I don't have to be, Simon said. Maybe you will if they round up all you slackers. Oh boy, I'd like to have you two in my platoon, Mac too. I'd make you my orderly, Mac. You're a good boy, Ettore Mac said. But I'm afraid you're a militarist. I'll be a colonel before the war is over, Ettore said. If they don't kill you. They won't kill me. He touched the star at his collar with his thumb and forefinger. See me do that? We always touch our stars if anybody mentions getting killed. Let's go, Sim, said Sanders, standing up. All right. So long, I said. I have to go too. It was 5:45 by the clock inside the bar. Ciao, Ettore. Ciao, Fred, said Ettore. That's pretty fine. You're going to get the silver medal. I don't know. I'll get it. You'll get it all right, Fred. I heard you were going to get it all right. Well, so long, I said. Keep out of trouble, Ettore. Don't worry about me. I don't drink and I don't run around. I'm no boozer and whorehound. I know what's good for me. So long, I said. I'm glad you're going to be promoted, Captain. I don't have to wait to be promoted. I'm going to be Captain for merit of war. 3 stars with the cross swords and crown above. That's me. Good luck. Good luck. When are you going back to the front? Pretty soon. Well, I'll see you around. So long. So long. Don't take any bad nickels. I walked on down and a back street that led to a crosscut to the hospital. Ettore was 23. He had been brought up by an uncle in San Francisco and was visiting his father and mother in Torino when war was declared. He had a sister who had been sent to America with him at the same time to live with the uncle who would graduate from normal school this year. He was a legitimate hero who bored everyone he met. Catherine could not stand him. We have heroes too, she said, but usually, darling, they're much quieter. I don't mind him. I wouldn't mind him if he wasn't so conceited and didn't bore me and bore me and bore me. He bores me. You're sweet to say so, darling, but you don't need to. You can picture him at the front, and you know he's useful, but he's so much the type of boy I just don't care for. I know. You're awfully sweet to know, and I try and like him, but he's dreadful, dreadful boy, really. He said this afternoon he was going to be a captain. I'm glad, said Catherine. That should please him. Wouldn't you like me to have some more exalted rank? No, darling, I only want you to have enough rank so that we're admitted to the better restaurants. That's just the rank I have. You have a splendid rank. I don't want you to have any more rank. It might go to your head. Oh, darling, I'm awfully glad you're not conceited. I'd have married you even if you were conceited, but it's very restful to have a husband who's not conceited. We were talking softly on the balcony. The moon was supposed to rise, but there was a mist over the town, and it did not come up, and in a little while it started to drizzle and we came in. Outside the mist turned to rain, and in a little while it was raining hard, and we heard drumming on the roof. I got up and stood at the door to see if it was raining, but it wasn't, so I left the door open. Who else did you see? Catherine asked. Mr. and Mrs. Myers. They're a strange lot. He's supposed to have been in the penitentiary at home. They let him out to die, and he lived happily in Milan forever after. I don't know how happily. Happily enough after going to jail, I should think. She's bringing some things over. She brings splendid things. Were you her dear boy? One of them. You're all her dear boys, Catherine said. She prefers the dear boys. Listen to it rain. It's raining hard. And you'll always love me, won't you? Yes. And the rain won't make any difference? No. That's good, because I'm afraid of the rain. Why? I was sleepy. Outside the rain was falling steadily. I don't know, darling. I've always been afraid of the rain. I like it. I like to walk in it, but it's very hard on loving. I'll love you always. I'll love you in the rain and in the snow and in the hail and what else is there? I don't know. I guess I'm sleepy. Go to sleep, darling, and I'll love you no matter how it is. You're not really afraid of the rain, are you? Not when I'm with you. Why are you afraid of it? I don't know. Tell me. Don't make me. Tell me. No, tell me. All right, I'm afraid of the rain because sometimes I see me dead in it. No. And sometimes I see you dead in it. That's more likely. No, it's not, darling, because I can keep you safe. I know I can. But nobody can keep themselves safe. Please stop it. I don't want you to get scotch and crazy tonight. We won't be together much longer. No, but I am scotch and crazy, but I'll stop it. It's all nonsense. Yes, it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. It's only nonsense. I'm not afraid of the rain. I'm not afraid of the rain. Oh, God, I wish I wasn't. She was crying. I comforted her, and she stopped crying. But outside, it kept on raining. That concludes chapter 19. So a few quick facts. I forgot to mention last time, Marsala, the wine that Mrs. Myers was bringing to the hospital, it's a wine that originates from the Marsala region of Sicily. It's that island to the west coast of the boot, I guess. But Marsala is produced by adding distilled spirits. That's why they call it fortified. It usually increases the alcohol content. They usually use brandy to fortify it. And it allows for a range of sweetness levels from dry to sweet. And it's also categorized by its color, gold, amber, or ruby. And age, of course. And it's known for its versatility, being used in both cooking and drinking. I know my son loves chicken marsala. But the silver medal was awarded for acts of exceptional bravery and courage in combat involving a serious risk to life. The bronze medal was awarded to recognize acts of exceptional valor in combat when a person, either a soldier or civilian, goes above the call of duty. But I think the silver is reserved for when you actually are injured. The Cova, if you'll remember, is that popular cafe inside the gallery in Milan. Putties, finally figured out how to pronounce those. Remember, those were the cloth wraps that soldiers would use in place of like tall boots. So if you couldn't afford, long boots, you could use putties, and they're much less expensive. But they also provided the same level of protection, support, insulation, and compression. The potato masher he was referring to was a German grenade. It's called the Stielhundgranate, which literally translates stick hand grenade. It looks like a canister, and it just has like what looks like an axe handle sticking out of the top of it, but you hold it by the handle, and so the canister is like on top of it. I guess it has this little like pull string that activates it, and then you kind of throw it like an axe. There's a link in the description to describe it. But Torino, when he said that that's where Ettore family was from, it's a town in northwestern Italy on the Po River, and it's about 140 kilometers west of Milan. For some reason, English speakers refer to it as Turin instead of Torino. But it's Torino. The normal school that Ettore's sister was about to graduate from was a trade school. I think I mentioned it a few early on, a few episodes back. But it's usually a 2-year program for training high school graduates to become elementary school teachers. So those are all the quick facts that I have. A few of my impressions. I think I was right to suspect that Ettore was a man of high distinction in his career, as you can tell from the narrative. If you recall, like Simon's when he was insulting his singing. He took the cheap shot at his ethnicity because he couldn't really retaliate in kind. But Simmons was clearly impressed by Ettores war service, at least to a degree, right? We know because he calls him the poster child for the war and claims that he would make a general if he applied for the position. And when someone says he's glad he isn't part of the war effort, I am so with that, right? I tell my students when we talk about organizational communication, know what your strengths are and know where you fit in the world, and you'll always find your way. Because, that would not be my choice of occupations. So, also, I think the vice consul calling Ettore a militarist is in a way symbolizing him as the archetype of the men who started the war, right? The whole thing was a bunch of people standing around in uniforms and looking for action. And Ettore fits that archetype, that stereotype. But the town of Torino, I really have to mention this. I'm kind of glad it came up because, it's disrespectful to mispronounce or change a person's name. So, for me, if someone tries to call me Teresa or Patricia or Patty, I immediately correct them. I used to not, or Trish or something, that's not my name. Get it right or don't address me is how I feel about it. Because it's completely disrespectful. And to rename a city just because it's more convenient for your personal pronoun, it's just so rude. And I mention that because it's something I talk about with my students too in class when we talk about culture and communication. When we use the word Japan or Japanese, it's really disrespectful because that is not the name of their country. It's Nihon. That's the name of the island off the coast of East Asia. And so if you are from Japan and you happen to be listening to this, irashaimase, I don't know if that's the right word or the right pronunciation, but I do want to take a moment to apologize on behalf of the ignorant English speakers that misuse your name. It's wrong, and I wish people would just stop immediately. Anyway, sorry, it's my preach for the episode. Anyway, I also wonder if Catherine couldn't stand Ettore because it's another counterpoint, right? He's so honest and she's so full of crap. He faces life head on and she hides. He is far from a boring character, but for whatever reason she doesn't like him. She calls him despicable, and I think it's because she abhors truth. So a person who speaks truth, I'm sure, is intolerable for her. Anyway, when she exalts Henry for not being conceited, I also think what she's really revealing about herself is her gratitude for her ability to control him, right? That he allows her to a degree to control him or to manipulate him for her own gain. And I'm sorry, but I think women like that are trashy. And there is this long-standing narrative that only women can be victimized in relationships, and it's total BS. Regardless of gender, when you take advantage of another person for selfish reasons, it's antisocial and I would dare say evil. Okay, that's my second preach for this episode. My bad. Okay, Fred is no slacker himself, right? And that he really cannot deal with her emotions at all. He is so blocked, which is ironically part of what makes him so vulnerable to her passive-aggressive control. Because he doesn't know what he's doing either. But referring to her emotional expressions as her being Scotch and crazy is the ultimate insult to her character. If she can't see the damage their affair is doing to her, then maybe she needn't worry about the rain. She's already dying a slow death, in my humble opinion. Anyway, that's all I have for Chapter 19 of Book 2. We'll continue the novel with chapter 20 of A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. Please join me for more tea and bedtime stories, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks for listening.